Discovery Bank rewards you for getting financially healthier and living well. Money Matters is powered by Discovery Bank, the future of banking now.
We know from studying history that entire generations can share a similar money attitude or behavior based on a major financial event that their generation experienced. People who grew up in the Great Depression in the 1930s and those growing up in the Second World War are natural savers and quite cautious and fearful around their money matters. It can even affect the type of asset class we invest in. Those who were working and investing in the 1970s when we had major inflation are big believers in investing in gold, whilst those growing up in the bull market of the 1990s tend to buy into shares. What effect, if any, will the COVID pandemic have on this generation? And how do we use this opportunity to change our money habits? To discuss this, I am joined by financial wellness coach and lecturer, Dr. Frank Magwegwe. So, Dr. Magwegwe, a recent study by TransUnion's Consumer Pulse found that nearly 100% of South Africans are now prioritizing savings for emergencies. Do you think that there's been a fundamental shift in our attitude towards money?
Without a doubt, Maya, we can't really socialize. Entertaining has been reduced. People are having to shop online. And of course, we've seen this emergence of this hybrid form of work where people work from home, little travel to the office. So all that, what it has done is really helped people to spend less on transport. That's the one thing. The other one, you just don't have opportunities to spend and entertain. Although we do have, groceries may have gone up and electricity, but in the main, consumers have now been able to see the impact of less travel, less entertaining on their finances.
People want to change their behavior. They want to improve their finances, but it often feels overwhelming. And I know that you're a big fan of Stanford University behavioral scientist BJ Fogg, who wrote the book Tiny Habits, The Small Changes That Change Everything. What is the principle behind this?
Thanks to BJ Fogg, he's really broken it down. So let's take financial behavior, for example. So you break it down to, I want to save for emergencies. That specific smaller habit out of the bigger, having to change your financial behavior. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is you need really three elements. The first is motivation. The second one is ability. The third one is trigger. When those three are present, and you reduce it to a tiny habit, then you are more likely to be successful in any change effort.
So how would somebody use this practically when it comes to their money? Could you give me an example?
Many South Africans struggle with building money for emergencies. What you can do is to automate. That's what BJ Fogg said. So take away the willpower, take away having to think for savings by automating a fixed amount of money from a current account into a savings account. That is the start of how one can save for emergencies. A second aspect of it, Maya, is that we always want to increase how much we are saving. A person who's saving money, let's call him SIPO, for example, once they have automated, what SIPO can do next, SIPO can just start by looking at groceries and really finding out what are they spending on groceries and is there opportunities of cutting back.
Do you think we're going to see really long-lasting changes to the way people live?
We hear people who have changed financial behavior as a result of the global financial crisis, for example. I think the pandemic will exactly have the same effect. I'll give you a quick example. I was talking to a client yesterday. The client said to me, before pandemic, having to go into a shop, they just filled their trolley and went to pay at the till without knowing how much is in the basket. But now, because they shop online, you're able to see as you add your goods to your basket, how much am I spending on groceries? And you'll be able to stop at some point within your budget. So I have no doubt that just awareness around expenses, the awareness around the importance of building emergency funds will ensure that in the long term, people will change financial habits for the permanent.
Dr. Magwegwe, thank you so much for those insights. And let's hope that these healthy money habits can become a lasting legacy.
Get the credit card that rewards you for living well. Travel in style with flight discounts, lounge access, and so much more. Discovery Bank, the future of banking now.